Hello and welcome back to ManVFilm. As an announcement video, I'm going to start looking at some Imprint titles. I recently had the collaborations box set, loved it. I think it's fantastic. What a release! And I'm starting to look more and more at another boutique company that seem to be releasing some interesting stuff. So they've got their announcements out of their April bundles of titles. I'm going to have a look at some of these. Some of them look really interesting. Really tempting. Let's have a look. So first up, we have a 4-disc Wicker Man set, which seems pretty extensive. Now, I think we all know what the Wicker Man is. I won't go through the kind of plot of that. It's got the disc one has the final cut in HD, new audio commentary, bunch of archival stuff. It looks like as well. Disc 2 has the UK theatrical cut and director's cut in HD. It's got a new commentary by Kim Newman and Sean Hogan, and an HD presentation of the director's cut using standard definition material for footage unavailable in HD. Audio commentary on the director's cut by Christopher Lee, Edward Woodward, Robin Hardy, and moderated by Mark Kermode. Wow, that's an extra worth the set of this price alone. Disc 3 is a bonus disc with interview with Robin Hardy. Folk musicians discuss the movie. The Wicker Man Enigma, a 2001 documentary. We have a new video essay from Kat Ellinger. We have a new music of the Wicker Man by author David Huckville. And The Golden Bough, a video directed about the pagan symbolism and influences in British culture of the Wicker Man by David Huckville. Wicker Man 1998 documentary, new video essay from Dr. Adam Scoville, the author of folk horror, new interview by musician Robert Reed, and some other stuff. And then the soundtrack CD final. It's a pricey item. It looks like a kind of definitive edition of this movie, classic cinema. This is a huge release. Next up is Cutter's Way. Now, this just looks awesome. All kinds of awesome. Alex Cutter came back from war minus an eye, a leg, an arm, and he's mad as hell. He lacks direction, drinks too much, and abuses his wife. One night, his friend Richard witnesses someone dumping something in an alley. Turns out to be the body of a young girl. When Cutter hears about this, he embarks on a crusade to expose the killer, enlisting the help of the murdered girl's sister. It looks absolutely amazing. You get a new introduction video by Jeff Bridges, which is amazing. A new video interview with screenwriter, new audio commentary by assistant director Larry Franco and unit production manager Barry Osborne, which should be interesting. You get a archival kind of commentary by Julie Kurgo and Nick Redman. Isolated score track, theatrical trailer. This just sounds awesome. This sounds like my kind of movie. The Hunt for a Killer. Looking at the trailer, it looks amazing. I think I've heard of this before. I want to see this. This just looks terrific. Next up, we have The Counterfeit Traitor, which is based on a true story, it seems. Based on a true story and brilliantly played by William Holden, this taut real-life spy thriller brings you to the front line of World War II. Spectacularly filmed in Berlin, Hamburg, Stockholm, and Copenhagen, it transports you to the centre of the world's greatest conflicts. Sounds quite good. The stakes were never higher for Erik Erikson, an American businessman turned Swedish oil trader. Erikson finds his life and fortunes held hostage when he's blackmailed by British agents and forced into the perilous arena of World War II espionage. Again, looking at the trailer of this one, it looks completely up my alley, something that I would just love to see. New audio commentary by Lee Pfeiffer, publisher of Cinema Retro magazine with film historian Paul Scrabble. William Holding, The Golden Boy, which is something I'm really interested in, 1989 documentary, theatrical trailer. It's got a 5.1 surround sound track, English subtitles. This is a title that I probably should have heard of before, but I haven't. But, you know, it's on my radar now, and it's an interesting title. A standout from these announcements for me is Across 110th Street. If you steal 300,000 from the mob, it's not robbery, it's suicide. It looks gritty. It's stars Anthony Quinn, and I think it was produced by him as well. Slicker than a Harlem shakedown, Across 110th Street hits hard with a jacked up smackdown thrill ride of hell-raising hoods of Harlem. Cooler than cool, Anthony Quinn leads a hot cast in a hair-raising cop thriller that packs a double barrel of gory vengeance, raw, ugly, and unnervingly real. This sounds amazing. The trailer looks brilliant. I've heard about this movie before. I've never seen it. It looks like the kind of early 70s, almost gritty New York filmed movies that I really kind of love. Yeah, definitely interested. It's got a new audio commentary by Nick Pinkerton, other new audio commentary by Matthew Asper-Gear, Anthony Quinn, an original 1990 documentary, and a new interview with author Michael J. Coven. It's got the trailer and optional English subtitles, and is a movie that I particularly am interested in. The Brotherhood is one I know nothing about. Kirk Douglas, it's a gangster one, released in '68, I believe. And it's the son of a powerful mafia don, comes home from his army service in Vietnam and wants to lead his own life, but family tradition, intrigues, and power plays involving his older brother dictate otherwise, and he finds himself being slowly drawn back into that world. It's got a new audio commentary by Lee Pfeiffer. It has a high definition presentation, kind of limited on extras in this one, but Kirk Douglas is a performer that I do particularly like, so it's a one I would be interested in, I suppose. The Dawn is Dead is a title that was recently released by Eureka. Anthony Quinn stars in this one. It's when the reigning Don dies, a bloody all-out power struggles ensures to determine who will be the next capo. Don Angelo, a notorious crime czar, is poised to take control of the syndicate when he discovers that ambitious Lieutenant Robert Forster from his own family has become a rival for the love of his beautiful mistress. The Don vows to turn the streets red with blood of the traitor, triggering an internal mob war of wills and weapons in this hard-hitting tale of betrayal, ambition, and revenge. The cast have me intrigued, but this was one that didn't jump out at me. It didn't really make its mark when I saw the trailer. It's got a new audio commentary by Mark Edward Hugh and Glenn Erickson. English subtitles, high-def presentation. Not the one that kind of jumps out from these announcements. And finally, a movie I've never heard of before, Man on a Swing. But again, just reading the synopsis, it sounds fascinating. It sounds like something I've kind of heard of before or stumbled across the plot before. Cliff Robertson stars in this one. A small-town police chief investigating a murder is offered the help by a self-described psychic. However, when the chief discovers that the psychic is in possession of information known only by the police, he suspects that the man may be more involved in the case than he lets on. Sounds like a twisting kind of thriller. And just looking at the trailer, it just looks fascinating. The performances look kind of key to this one, but the idea of that story, it makes my mind kind of run away with me and what's going to happen. I am curious about that one. I would love to know about that one if you have seen it. There are the titles there for April. Man on a Swing, The Dawn is Dead, The Brotherhood, Across 110th Street, The Counterfeit, Traitor, Cutter's Way, and The Wicker Man. And Imprint do these bundles where you can buy the entire month's movies for 300 Australian dollars, which for these kind of 7 titles, including that big release of The Wicker Man, is rather impressive. I want to know if you've bought from Imprint before. Is it a company you like? Do you regard them as something special? Is it something that I should be looking more and more into? There's a few titles here, particularly that I'm really interested in. Man in a Swing, Cutter's Way, Across 110th Street, all sound amazing movies I hadn't seen before. A definitive edition of Wicker Man jumps out at me as well, and the counterfeit traitor looks particularly interesting as well. So many movies, not enough money, not enough time. I would love to know anything about any of these movies that you've seen, or anything you can tell me about them. And of course, let me know in the comment box below if you're buying anything or what you would recommend from that list, because I'd love to know. As always, there's more content somewhere up in one of the corners you can check out. Click the like button if you like this kind of video, if this is the kind of thing you want to see more of on the channel. And of course, if you want to support me, join the Patreon or the membership program for as little as 99p a month. Less than £1. That's a bargain. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on ManVFilm.